He kicks things off by walking straight into the local gangster's hideout. The thug looks at him and goes, "Who the hell are you?" He calmly replies, "I'm the new officer in this district. A college student was kidnapped. Well, his mother reported him missing, and people are saying you're the one who took him. I'm not trying to disrespect you, sir. I'm just asking if you know anything about the kid. If you don't, I'll just leave and close the case." The gangster slowly lifts his axe and points up. Hanging from the ceiling is the poor student's body. He chops the rope, and the body drops to the ground. The officer is completely shocked. He immediately calls his boss and says, "Jimmy kidnapped a college student and killed him." His boss asks, "Who are the boy's family?" "He was an orphan. His father died years ago, and his mother is all he had." "What does his mother do?" "She's just a poor woman struggling to survive." "Any signs of torture on the body?" "No, sir. Nothing." "Then write a suicide note and put it in his pocket. Make it look like you found it there. The letter should say he took his own life willingly." The officer can't believe what he's hearing. "Sir, shouldn't we arrest the killer?" His boss snaps back, "Are you crazy? That's a minister's son." "Understood, sir." So the officer writes the fake suicide note. But instead of leaving the body where it was, he gets another idea. He places it near the railway tracks to make the story look more believable, then calls his boss. "Did you do exactly what I told you?" "Yes, sir. But I left the body by the railroad with the note in his pocket. It'll look even more convincing." His boss completely loses it. "You idiot. Get it away from the railway tracks right now." "Why, sir?" "It was a brilliant idea." "Brilliant? Anything that happens in this district can be covered up, but not if it's on the railway. Railway police will take over the investigation." The officer says, "But you're the one who controls everyone around here." His boss replies, "The problem isn't the railway police. It's one officer working there. His name is Lakshman. That officer is unlike anyone they've ever dealt with. He doesn't care about rank, power, or political influence. His name is Lakshman, and he's the one man nobody wants to face." As soon as his team reports a suspicious body on the railway tracks, Lakshman heads straight to the scene. The local officer greets him and says, "Are you Officer Lakshman?" Lakshman smiles. "In the flesh. Now show me everything you found." The officer quickly tries to shut the case down. "We already solved it, sir. The kid committed suicide. No need to waste your time." His assistant adds, "That's right, sir. We even found a suicide note." Lakshman takes one look at the letter and laughs. "Man, your handwriting is terrible." The officer gets confused. "What do you mean?" "I mean, the victim had a master's degree in business administration, but this note looks like it was written by someone who failed elementary school 3 times. The officer freezes. "And judging by the look on your face, you're the one who wrote it, aren't you?" I didn't write anything. Let's just close the case." Lakshman grabs his arm and refuses to let him leave. At that exact moment, a train comes speeding toward them. The terrified officer screams, "Let go of me. The train's coming." Lakshman doesn't even flinch. "Then tell me the truth. Please. I'll die. Who killed the student?" Finally, the officer breaks. "It was the minister's son." The next morning, Lakshman and his men storm the minister's son's warehouse. One of the guards steps forward. "Who are you? Do you even know whose place this is?" Lakshman doesn't answer. Instead, he walks inside like he owns the place. The minister's son finally appears and smirks. "Welcome. This warehouse belongs to me." Lakshman looks him up and down. "So, you're the famous minister's son." "That's right." "Good. Then come with me quietly." The guards burst into laughter. "Do you even know who you're talking to?" Lakshman cracks his neck. "No, but you're all about to find out who you're dealing with." And just like that, an insane fight breaks out. One by one, every guard is sent flying, and Lakshman crushes anyone who dares stand in his way. The minister's son finally realizes this officer is nothing like the corrupt cops he's used to facing. The minister's son yells, "Do you even know who you're messing with?" Lakshman calmly replies, "Sorry. Are you okay?" Before the guy can react, crack. Lakshman breaks one of his bones without breaking a sweat. He then hangs him upside down, leaving everyone around him completely stunned. One of Lakshman's men says, "Sir, that's enough. Let's arrest him." Lakshman smiles. "My pleasure." He cuts the rope, and the minister's son crashes onto the ground. After beating every one of his men, Lakshman personally takes him to the hospital. A little later, the minister rushes into the hospital. My son, is he here? You're the officer who brought him. Lakshman nods. Yeah, I brought him here. The minister sighs in relief. Thank you. I don't know how to repay you. Just tell me one thing. Who did this to him? Lakshman looks him straight in the eyes. I did. The minister is speechless. If anything happens to my son, I swear. Lakshman cuts him off. Stop swearing so much. His spine is broken. He'll never walk again. The minister explodes with anger. You'll pay for this. Lakshman doesn't even blink. Save the threats. I'm railway police. You're with the Interior Ministry. You can't touch me. He steps closer and continues. Unfortunately, I can't charge your son with murder because your officers buried the evidence. But I can put him behind bars for stealing railway property. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. With that, Lakshman turns around and walks away, leaving the furious minister standing there. The next day, Lakshman's grandfather takes him to meet a girl for an arranged marriage. The girl likes him immediately, her family approves, and everyone seems happy. That night, his grandfather asks with a grin, So, do you like her? Lakshman smiles. She's beautiful, Grandpa. And she definitely likes you too. Lakshman blushes. I think she does. Just then, his phone rings, and he steps outside to answer it. But while he's gone, his mischievous grandfather secretly calls the girl's father. So, what do you think of my grandson? He's a wonderful man. The old man laughs. No, he's not. You've been fooled. He's a hopeless womanizer. He flirts with every girl he meets. He'll play with your daughter's heart and dump her just like all the others. Then he hangs up before the poor father can even respond. A moment later, Lakshman overhears everything. He stares at his grandfather in disbelief. Seriously, Grandpa? You're the reason every marriage proposal falls apart. The old man laughs. As long as I'm alive, you're never getting married. Lakshman points at him. That's it. I'm going to get you for this. Just then, his fiancée calls him. I know everything. You're a player. Don't ever contact me again. She hangs up before he can explain. Lakshman stands there completely speechless, while his grandfather can't stop laughing. The next morning, an informant walks into Officer Narayan's office. So, what have you got for me? Everything, sir. There's a drug that's flooding the market right now. It only grows in a region called Vietnam, and the people there are being forced to cultivate it. Narayan frowns. You mean an entire village is growing drugs? Yes, sir, but not by choice. A powerful crime boss and his armed men force them to grow it. The villagers barely get enough money to survive. Who's behind it? A man named Shivu. He doesn't just supply this state. He distributes drugs across India and even smuggles them overseas. Narayan asks the obvious question. So where's the police? The informant gives a bitter smile. That's the problem. Every shipment carries Shivu's personal seal. The moment officers see that mark, they look the other way. Nobody dares stop his trucks. Why? Because the last officer who tried disappeared along with his entire team. Narayan realizes how deep the corruption runs. And Shivu isn't working alone. He has a mysterious partner named Patra. Nobody knows what he looks like because he never shows himself. Narayan gives the informant his next mission. Go back undercover. Stay close to them and find out everything about Patra. If your cover gets blown, call me immediately. You got it, sir. Meanwhile, Lakshman's grandfather is busy chatting with an elderly woman. My son wants to dump me in a retirement home, she says sadly. The old man gets furious. What? Tell me who he is. I'll break every bone in his body. Just then Lakshman walks in. Grandpa, come here for a second. A few men suddenly grab the old man. Time to go. The grandfather struggles. Where are you taking me? Lakshman smiles awkwardly. I found the best retirement home in the whole city. You'll be comfortable there. The old man points at him angrily. I'll escape. And when I do, you're finished. Lakshman laughs. We'll see about that. Before leaving, he tells the home's manager. Please take good care of him. I've been transferred to a new district, so I can't watch over him anymore. Give him whatever he asks for. Just try not to let him drink too much. I'll send the money every month. The manager nods. Don't worry. We'll take good care of him. As Lakshman walks away, his grandfather shouts after him. Just wait. Your end will come at my hands. Without looking back, Lakshman waves goodbye and heads toward his new assignment. The dangerous village where Shivu's criminal empire rules everything. Lakshman finally arrives at his new railway station in the village. The officers there welcome him, but the place looks more like a barn than a police station. He looks around and asks, Why are there cows and buffaloes everywhere? One of the officers shrugs. Sir, we're in a rural village. People keep bringing their animals here. Lakshman shakes his head in disbelief. As he walks outside, he notices a shopkeeper, filling bottles with tap water and selling them as drinking water. Before he can even process that, he spots a group of young men openly smoking drugs in the middle of the street. He turns to the officers. Are they seriously smoking drugs out in the open? Yes, sir. That's normal around here. Normal. Without wasting another second, Lakshman marches over, grabs the dealers, and drags them straight to the local police station. Inside, he throws them in front of the local officer. I caught these guys using drugs in public. Do your job. The officer looks at him with a smirk. And who are you? I'm Lakshman, the new railway police officer. The man laughs. Then you really are new. Listen carefully. Your authority ends at the railway tracks. Everything inside this town belongs to me. He turns to the drug users. You boys can go. They leave without a care in the world. Lakshman stares at the corrupt officer in disbelief, realizing the entire town is under criminal control. That night, he suddenly wakes up to the sound of gunfire. He rushes outside. What's going on? His assistant calmly replies. Nothing unusual, sir. Lakshman frowns. Nothing unusual? That's gunfire. They follow the noise and discover two hunters proudly showing off a dead peacock. Look how big it is. Lakshman slaps one of them across the face. You killed a protected bird? The hunters look confused. But everyone does it here. Lakshman demands to see the forest officer. When they find him, the officer doesn't even try to hide his corruption. I told them to hunt it. Lakshman can't believe what he's hearing. The forest officer smirks. When they hunt on railway property, you can arrest them. Everywhere else, mind your own business. He walks away without another word. The next morning, Lakshman sits alone at the station, furious. Every law he tries to enforce is ignored. Every official around him is corrupt. As he thinks about everything happening around him, he remembers a conversation with his grandfather from years ago. Grandpa, why won't you let me become a regular police officer? I just want to protect people. His grandfather had answered quietly. Your father was a police officer. He spent his life protecting others, and we lost him because of it. Lakshman had smiled back then. Don't worry, I'll be careful. But his grandfather had already made up his mind. No, you'll join the railway police. That's the only uniform I'll ever allow you to wear.